Hey guys, so I kind of lied to you 2 years ago. I said that I was going to have you follow me step by step through the process of the changes I was going to make in my life because I wasn't happy where I was at. Um, I wasn't able to keep that because I needed to focus solely on my family and on myself. And a lot of things happened during the last 2 years that one, I didn't expect to happen, two, I couldn't have planned on happening, and three, I worked my butt off to make happen. So, first thing, I don't work where I did anymore. A year ago, I decided that it was not conducive and healthy for me to spend as much time away from my family as I was. My kids were miserable. My husband was miserable. I was miserable. And I decided that I could not live on ibuprofen and B12. I was actually making myself extremely sick doing so. So a year ago, I quit my job, a very well paying job. I quit it. I told them, I said, I'm sorry. I can't do this anymore. I'm leaving for personal reasons. A month later, I got a different job here in town, much closer to my home. And I took a lot of a pay cut and I took a big cut in benefits to be able to do it. Then, not even 6 months after that, I got the first promotion. And I decided, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to take it. I still, even with the promotion, I still get to be home with my kids every day. I get to help my children with their homework. I get to go to their football games now, whereas I couldn't before. There's a lot more freedom there than I initially had. So I'm really, really happy with that, even though I've had a couple of pay raises and I'm still not making where I want to make, but that's okay because at this point, I decided a year ago that my peace of mind and my family's peace of mind of me being more available to them was far more important than a paycheck coming home. So that was a big thing. Um, in this time, my father in law kind of got a little bit ill, so we bought a tiny home and put it on the property so that we could live with him. But we did this for another reason because my husband and I desperately wanted to own our own home. But we wanted to do it on our terms. And so this allowed us the freedom to be able to save up money. And at the start of this summer, we bought a lot and paid cash for it, and it's ours. So now we're having to clean it up because it's kind of messy. But once we get that done, in the meantime, we're saving up the down payment to get a prefab put on it. So I told you 2 years ago that I didn't want to keep working where I was working. I told you 2 years ago I didn't want to keep living where I was living. And I told you 2 years ago I didn't want to be mentally where I was at. I can honestly say in 2 years' time, I'm not working where I'm working anymore. I don't live where I was living anymore. And I'm not mentally where I was at 2 years ago. And I'm really, really satisfied with that. Part of that journey was super scary for me because it was like, God, am I messing up? Am I taking my 5 kids on this journey that is going to so damage them? You know, I'm asking my kids to have faith in me. I'm asking my husband to have faith in me. I'm asking myself to have faith in me. And I had to stop. I had to stop questioning myself. I had to stop. My gut told me I wasn't happy. My heart told me I wasn't happy. My body told me I wasn't happy. And so I had to listen. And was it scary? Hell yes, it was scary. But when that much of my being is telling me I'm not happy, I need to listen to it, because if I don't, then my kids aren't going to be happy. And I can't do that. This year, my daughter is a senior. My oldest son is a sophomore, fixing to be 16. My daughter turned 18 in March. My second oldest son's fixing to be 15. I've got the third son is in junior high now, his first year. And then the youngest is a third grader. So my kids are getting to that age where they're acutely aware of how mom's feeling. And I needed to make sure that if I was going to teach them how to be okay with themselves and how to be confident in their own being, I had to be confident in my own being. And day before yesterday, I was watching a live stream from a friend of mine, Amanda Larson. She is an amazing network marketer in independent sales. She just absolutely rocks it. I can't give her enough credit and enough shout out. I personally can't do it. I probably could, but I don't. It's not the avenue I want to take. Anyway, she made a comment and it's out of a book, I think, and I can't remember who she said it was by. I know she told me. But the comment, the quote was, "Somebody else's opinion of you is none of your business." And I stopped for a minute, because and like I told her, I just sat there and I just kind of blinked, trying to process it. That was the only thing my brain could do, was just blink, because it was just so profound to me. I tell my kids all the time not to worry about what other people's opinions of them are. And yet I still find myself wondering, am I doing this right? Do my bosses think that I'm doing good enough? Do my kids think I'm doing good enough? Do I think I'm doing good enough? And that last statement is ultimately the only one of those three that matters. It doesn't matter if my bosses think I'm doing good enough. It doesn't matter if my kids think I'm doing good enough. It only matters if I think I'm doing good enough. And if I don't think I'm doing good enough, then I need to work on that. I need to stop. Maybe I need to take a step back and say, okay, what do I need to do better? Because if I'm not doing good enough, then I can't be the parent I want to be. I can't be the employee I want to be. I can't be the manager and the team leader that I need to be. And so I've learned, another very good friend of mine has taught me in the last year, really in the last 6 months, honestly, that it's super important for me to take an hour a day for myself. Whether I am sitting there waiting to pick up kids, I'm in the shower. It doesn't matter. He says it doesn't matter how you get that hour. You don't even have to get that hour all in one sitting. It's just super important you get that hour so you can decompress and just be you. I started trying to plan that hour into my day, because I'm a planner. It's just with everything going on in my life and my schedule, I'm a planner. So I tried to plan that into my day. And I found when I initially started doing it, I couldn't plan it into my day. Anytime I would pencil it in or schedule it into my planner, something would happen. Work would call, kid would call, something would happen, and I wouldn't get my hour. And I thought, it started driving me crazy. I'm like, why can't I get my hour? Why can't I get my hour? An hour out of 24 hours, it shouldn't be that hard. And then, so I was sitting in the shower one day, wondering, just racking my brain, why couldn't I get the hour? And it kind of hit me. It was my little inner voice. My inner voice talks to me all the time. And it said, because you're trying to plan it. You're trying to force it. You can't force it. You just got to let it be. And I really think we forget when we're trying to micromanage our lives, that sometimes we just have to let stuff be. And since I've quit trying to force plan it into my schedule, I find that I can get an hour to myself during the day, and sometimes I can even get more. Those are really good days. I like those days. So yeah, and during that hour, it doesn't even really matter what I do. Sometimes I think about things I want to talk on YouTube about. Sometimes I think about things that I want to talk to my kids about, or I think about my kids' schedule, or whatever the case may be. Sometimes I read. It's my hour. I can do what I want. It's mine. So a lot has changed. I'm going to try really, really hard to start posting a couple of days a week just to kind of vent and talk and share. I've always said my videos are raw, they're uncut, they're unedited. YouTube has made some changes, so I can't go live anymore. I'm not sure what's going on there. I'm going to have to ask my daughter because she's way more savvy about this stuff than I am. Right now, I got a new car phone mount for my phone. I love it because I spend so much time in my car. I can do my recordings in the car. But right now in West Texas in August, it's fly season. So if you see me swatting, I'm swatting at flies. They're terrible right now. It's fixing to start getting cooler, and hopefully they'll go away because they're driving me crazy. Because my kids don't know how to close a door. Anyway, sorry, sidetracked. Amanda Larson, you are my woman shout out for the week. I watch your videos all the time. I think while our paths are so much different, what you have to say can impact women no matter what their path is. I think you're doing something amazing. I'm very, very proud of you. From when I met you 3 years ago to where you're at now, it's been so much fun watching your journey. Yeah, it's been an amazing opportunity and a huge honor to watch you grow as a marketer and to watch your confidence just soar. And you impact people's lives whether you realize it or not. So, until the next video, fingers crossed, I'm hoping to try to do one a day. I'm not going to promise it, but I'm going to work on getting better because I promised my daughter I would. I will see y'all later. Bye.